Hi, and welcome to, oh God, my brain.
Bad take, do it
Welcome
again.
to what, Rabbit?
Bad take, do it again.
Welcome to Infinite Nonsense, where I have been deemed the winner from last episode, and I am now host. And since I am a host, George has been demoted to competitor with some.
Damn right.
And the overall gist of the format of this show, this podcast, is someone's going to win, they become the host for next time, and they pick the topic. We talk about nonsense infinitely. We'll get off track, we'll get sidetracked, and those points, they're very arbitrary. I mean, I just kind of pick whatever's fancying my reasoning for giving them points. And that's really about it. But enough about me. How about more about me? My day's been pretty good. How about you guys? Now it's to you guys.
George, you want to take it away, or should I start talking?
I want Soom to go first.
You want me to go first? You want me to talk about my day first? George, you are so sweet. My day has been wonderful, Rabbit. Thank you for asking. I've been experiencing some new things. Became uncomfortable this morning because of some of those new things, but it's fine. We're getting along. We're moving on.
Huh.
How
I
about
didn't
you,
know
George?
someone was going through puberty today.
I am. My third time. It's really weird. I don't know why it keeps happening. I've grown 13 feet. It's a
Jesus.
problem.
I can't wait till his voice drops.
It's never happening. It's all going into height. All of that testosterone. Everything. Height, height, height.
The higher he gets, the higher his voice becomes.
Maybe not that.
Can we get much higher? So high.
Discord just cut you off.
It did. It absolutely did. I
Are
watched
you
it
trying to
happen.
make like a squeaky noise or what?
They're
Or
trying to
squeal?
talk like this.
You know, that one didn't come through Discord at all, and I'm okay with that.
Oh God.
Anyway,
anyway.
George, how about your
Yeah. My week's been great. It's been pretty chill. Work picked up a little bit, but something funny happened today when I went to the grocery store. I guess more embarrassing on my part. So, I like buying coconuts. I like not husking coconuts, but like getting the coconut, meat inside and draining the water or whatever. So I do that every now and then when I feel like it, because I love coconut, the fruit. It's amazing fruit. And I'm sure like other stores, but HEB here in Texas, they have little coconuts for sale. You can buy young coconuts individually. It's like $2, I think, per coconut. Anyway, I was getting one, and I got one of those little, the produce bags you get that's right next to all the other fruit and vegetables that you just tear off and put your stuff in there, a little bag, zip tie it or whatever. I never zip tie, by the way. I just spin it, close it, wrap it up like that. But anyway, I went to grab the coconut. My dumb ass didn't realize that, dropping the coconut in the bag would tear the bag. So I literally just whopped it into the bag, and it tore underneath, dropped on the floor, and cracked open and spilt everywhere. And I was like, huh.
Hold on. You dropped the coconut so hard that it not only broke the bag, but broke the nut?
Yeah, exactly. Like it literally
I don't think
it
that's
cracked.
dropping anymore.
I don't
No,
either.
I literally just dropped it, and it tore through the bottom of the bag, and so it's like, and it just hit the floor, and it splattered everywhere.
Ground like a moonball. He was trying to get rid of that thing.
No. And there was a worker right next to me. He's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, man." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I am so sorry." He's like, "Nah, you're good, man. It happens all the time." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "No." Oh, thanks, man.
Of course it doesn't. Like, why would you even ask that? Of course it doesn't. It's a coconut. You don't just drop a coconut and have it crack.
No. He's like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, people drop those all the time, but that's the first time I saw it ever dropped like that, and it cracked. And I'm like, yeah, me too. I've dropped them before, and they never would crack open, but this one is like
George,
everywhere, just coconut water.
George, I'm so sorry. You're hanging out with me a little too much.
Yeah, that's true. It felt like a rabbit moment because I'm like, there's no fucking way that this coconut cracked open just by dropping it.
You're going
Absolutely
coconutty.
not. Okay, yeah, for real. No, but like it it just like caught me off guard because, you know, it was early morning and I wanted to beat all the traffic and shit, just getting, you know, stuff from the store. But like, it woke me up because I was literally just kind of like going with the motion and shit. But like, no, this woke me up. I was like, oh my God, this coconut actually cracked open. No freaking way. No way. But yeah.
George is just sleep shopping until the coconut busts open at his feet.
Absolutely.
Busting a nut. Ha 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 ha! I'm so funny.
I hate you, Sue.
So some is just stealing my joke for what I was going to say at the end of the
I mean, you literally said the words. I was like, I heard the words, and I was like, well, I have to repeat those in this order now.
I literally typed down for points for George, busted a nut.
Nice.
Oh my God. He actually wrote that down.
And
George.
then I put down for the points for some making the nut joke.
Points to Gryffindor for busting a nut. No, but it was a really weird way to start my morning because I was like, I don't know. I was just slow to get up this morning, but I was like, I need to do it because near where I live, I think I've talked about this with you guys before, but both major highways next to me are being constructed on, and they've decided to close them off for the weekend. So, like, you know, and today's Saturday, so it's like really difficult. If you're gonna go out, you should really go either late in the evening or early in the morning. And I decided I'll just get it over with in the morning. So, like, again, like I was kind of sleepy because I didn't go to bed till like midnight. And I woke up at like 5:36. So I didn't see what was going on. Yeah, and I didn't have my coffee yet, so I was like a little groggy just walking around. And then just the sound of the coconut cracking and the fucking like water everywhere woke me up, and I'm like, all right, there it is. Okay, I'm awake. Continue on the rest of the day. But yeah, that was just something I didn't expect to happen.
Yeah.
Also, there was this one lady that had fishnets as pants. And it was like, what?
Sadly,
is that the
that's
first time. Is that the first time you've heard or seen this?
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna say,
but
is this news to
no.
you?
But here's the thing. I don't think she was wearing shorts.
Yeah.
She just was wearing fishnets.
Okay.
But the
Is
shirt
this
was
your
long
first
enough.
time?
No, like it's like she wasn't wearing any bottom. Like, no, when I say fishnet, I mean like an actual net. Like it looked like a fishnet, but like usually they would wear, you know, girls would wear shorts or a skirt or something. But no, it was just a long shirt and her fishnets. And I was like, I feel like there should be shorts there because if that shirt blows up, it's gonna just be your panties or something.
Again, first time?
Yeah, apparently to Soon that's a normal fucking occurrence.
It's not normal, but it's happened.
Fashion before.
I was gonna say, like, it's not normal, but I've seen it before. Like, it's not abnormal to it weirds me out, don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's not something I haven't seen before.
I guess the better way of putting it just caught me off guard because it took for a split second, it looked like she was not wearing anything.
Yeah, no, I
the
fish it being weird. It's absolutely weird. I will give you that. So
yeah,
that would be
that's
jarring.
the only reason it caught me off guard.
Yeah, I get caught off guard when I see people like you know those shirts where it's basically you see the shoulders and the top of the chest kind of thing,
top?
but yeah, like a crop top. But they're carrying something that's covering their shirt, and it just looks like they're walking around naked.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, you mean okay? Yeah. I can't.
Yes,
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, no, that's always jarring a little bit.
Is it a crop top or what's it called?
No,
I forgot what it's called.
I don't know.
I can't. It's a shoulderless shirt, but I can't. Shoulderless shirt, yeah.
But I know what you're talking about.
Take her
I've
shoulders
seen
off.
that. Yeah,
Gone.
yeah, I've seen that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know what that's called.
Off shoulders T-shirt is one name for it that I'm seeing.
Okay.
Shoulderless tops.
Shoulderless. Okay.
There was a girl at the gym that wears those, and yeah, she needs to wear a normal shirt because sometimes it gets a little too low. It's really kind of yeah. Well, no, because like whenever I'm working out there, there are kids there. They're like 8-year-old, 10-year-old kids.
Oh yeah. I was about to say,
Because it's-
what? You're getting distracted while arcing out, George?
No, it's not that. It's
George, this is why there's
mean,
a
she
dress
is
code,
attractive.
so you don't
She-
distract the boys in class.
Yeah.
Shut up, Zoom. She is attractive, but like at the same time, because my gym is right next to a middle school, and like I go around 4 or 5 when school lets out, and these kids always come in to work out around that time. Like they go straight from
Okay.
school to the gym.
You know,
So that's where I have an issue. It's like, okay, no, like you have these young kids here. You need to be dressed more properly.
exactly.
I don't
They
mind it
need-
if like no kids are around, but yeah, with
they
kids,
need
no,
to
you
not
be
allow
dressed.
kids into the gym. I got you. I hear you loud and clear, George.
Man, kids
Oh,
aren't allowed
what?
to go anywhere but school and home. Those are the only places they're allowed.
How did this? What? How did this?
George,
twist?
we get it. We get it. You don't
We
like
get it.
children being in public.
Anyway, did we find out the name of that damn shirt? Was it shoulderless or whatever?
Yeah, just shoulderless top.
Yeah, shoulderless
okay.
tops. That's what Amazon's giving me as a search result for them. I guess
Okay,
it depends
gotcha.
on the brand that you're looking for.
Look out for
yeah.
the Lululemon brand.
Lululemon.
or the Walmart brand where it's like lots of frills. So much frills.
Actually,
All
I'll
frills,
save
no shirt.
I'll save that. I'll save the Lululemon story for another time. Hey, Rabbit, what's the topic?
The
Okay,
topic.
George.
The topic.
Pushy.
Well, he's very, very much so. But he wants to move forward, and that really segues very nicely to the topic, because I want to know about. We're getting older, right, guys?
No.
So, what are some?
Says
I'm only getting younger. Every year I de-age by about 3 days.
Oh,
So,
okay. This
Zoom is
Benjamin
eating the
Button
souls of
guy.
the young ones. Okay.
I've got Benjamin Button disease. Got so many
Benjamin
buttons. Benjamins, I can't button these jeans, or whatever the line is. Clearly, I did not come up with it. I don't remember who did. I don't know who did. I cannot give credit, but I fucking love it. It's a beautiful line.
Basically, the topic that I want to talk about is nostalgia and how it affects your decision making on things for making a choice to play something, watch something, or even just sway you into getting something. Because nostalgia has been very prevalent in a lot of marketing campaigns today. How well does it affect you? How doesn't it affect you? What does it work on for you? Like, what is nostalgic for you that will want you to get something? Things like that. That's kind of the topic I'm thinking of today.
All right. Nostalgia.
Yeah.
Interesting. Assume you go first.
Hey, why do you guys do this to me?
You
Like,
know what?
every single time
No,
you're both
no,
like,
no.
Soom goes
Some-
first. Soom goes first. Soom goes first.
Stay. George, you go first. I want to hear from you first.
Assume to answer your okay, I'm gonna go on a tangent real quick. Assume to answer your question. You know, so the way I eat, right? I have vegetables, I have like,
What?
rice, and I have my meat. I
Are
eat
you
the
saying
worst
you
part
want
of my
to
plate
eat
first.
me?
No,
Oh
I eat
my
the worst part of my
God.
plate first to get it over with so I can enjoy the meat and the rice. You are the vegetables to me. I want to get rid of you as quick as I can.
So
That
my
we can actually
understanding
enjoy
is you just like to hear
the actual
yourself
thing.
talk.
No, I
Right?
want to hear Rabbit talk.
But
I like
see,
rabbit.
here's the thing. This is between you and me, so you want to hear yourself talk.
No, I want to get you out of the way. That way I can talk and then Rabbit can talk.
Yeah, so exactly. You want to hear yourself talk.
Yeah,
You
and
are
Rabbit.
more
Your voice.
interested in hearing your voice than mine.
Yeah.
I want you to go first because soon you are a cool person. And
I
then
mean,
after that,
you can't go back
I
now.
will
You've
go,
already made
and
your
then Rabbit.
decision.
Some is right.
I don't know what
you
you're talking
are
about.
backpedaling. You're backpedaling. You called him.
I don't know what you're
vegetables.
talking about.
You called
That's
him
not
the
true.
worst dish first.
I mean,
That's not
first of
true.
all,
That's not
broccoli is an amazing vegetable. So, like,
I didn't,
True.
I didn't
eating
say
that
you were
first,
broccoli.
completely understandable.
Yes, the bold of you to assume I meant broccoli.
I
Oh, what'd you
mean,
th-
I'm
what'd
just
you
saying
say
the
about
vegetable.
you,
You
man?
said vegetables,
Well-
and I'm giving an example of a good vegetable that I would like to eat first, despite the main course being better. Or worse.
All right.
You know, or better. You know what I mean.
Better or worse? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Soon.
I forget. What was the question?
We're talking about nostalgia here, and George is supposed to be first.
Yeah.
I decline
No,
to speak
host-
until Soon
ho-
speaks.
Host gets demand here.
All right, fine. I'll go first. I think a lot of nostalgia, but I think it's it's hitting us the way it hits our parents. At least for me, like I catch my dad all the time saying, like, "You kids are so spoiled nowadays. Back in my day, this, and that, we didn't have that. We didn't have this. But for me, it's a lot of the same way. Like I do like back in, but more it's like I guess like the opposite. It's like I'm grateful I grew up in the generation I did, like the mid '90s to the early 2000s, because it was way before smartphones and stuff like that came about. And if you wanted to hang out with your friends, you'd have to physically go and hang out with them at their house, your house, or at the park or the mall or whatever. And I genuinely think that that was peak childhood. And I think kids today should have more of that. Instead, now it's more like digital. You get on Discord, you do this, you play video games together, and that's considered hanging out. I think that's what nostalgia in itself is kind of blinding me from the benefits of the interconnectivity of the internet. But I still think that back then was much more enjoyable as a kid, because again, you have that human interaction. You actually physical interact with other people, other kids and shit. And yeah, that's more of like, again, yeah, that's more of like the nostalgia perspective. So yeah, that's one of the things, I guess.
Oh, okay. So it affects you in I honestly don't know what point you were making with nostalgia.
Yeah, I kind of I don't know.
Well, it affects me in a way of like seeing kids nowadays interact and saying like, man, they missed out. They're not gonna have a childhood like mine because technology and stuff. Like it's making me judgmental of the kids of today because of my nostalgia of the older times.
God, so you're becoming a boomer.
Yeah, exactly.
When are you gonna yell at a kid for getting off your lawn, or to get off your lawn?
Once I get my house, I will do that. If a kid's on my lawn, I'd be like, "Hey, get Dak off my lawn."
Rabbit, first time we visit him, when he gets his house, I am just going to stand on his lawn until he yells at me.
That, or you see like a
that'll be fast.
You see like a red laser
He'll yell at me
being
to
pointed
get
on your
away.
chest.
He'll pull a shotgun on me. Like, come on.
a laser sight on his chest. And he's like, oh no.
Oh, I win.
Nah, I'd invite you guys in for some barbecue.
Honestly, if I come down there and see you, we have to get brisket. We talked about this a long time ago.
No, if you all come and visit,
brisket.
we're not gonna go where I'm at. We're gonna fucking, once y'all get down here, we're gonna make another trip to Lockhart, Texas, and give you the best fucking brisket you'll ever have in your life. Lockhart, Texas is the barbecue capital of Texas.
Hey, is that brisket being sold to you by nostalgia? Have you had it before?
Absolutely. Absolutely it is.
The nostalgia of the experience, the first time you had such an amazing brisket, is going to sell your friends on it too, huh?
Look. Growing up in Texas, you are surrounded by, especially Hispanic, my parents and all that, and being in that kind of culture or whatever. We would have fucking fiestas every weekend with other family or friends. It'd be barbecue every fucking time. And when we were younger, my dad would want us to travel a lot around Texas. So we would drive a lot. And if it always ended up going to Dallas or to somewhere up north, we'd always pass by Lockhart, Texas, because we lived in South Texas. But on the way up there, my dad would literally every time make a detour, even if it would add like 2 hours on our trip. He didn't care. We would go to Lockhart, Texas, and just hit up one of the 3 barbecue stops there. And it would always be brisket, the brisket, or the pulled pork, or the chicken quarters, or the sausage. Any one of those are great choices. But brisket, hands down, is the best at Lockhart. And I've tried brisket at like 50 different places in Austin, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. I've tried them all. I've tried everyone. You look up any barbecue spot in Texas. I've been there. I've tried it. But Lockhart, Texas is probably the best brisket. Like, not trying to be like biased at all, but I've tried a good handful. I think they're the best. My opinion. But yeah, it might be nostalgia. I don't know.
Oh,
I mostly just did nostalgia. That to try and link back because it was funny to me.
No, but it was great. I'm happy that you did that because it is technically nostalgia. Yeah,
I mean,
it was something I did as a kid.
Yeah, that's fair.
Here, I'll read off the definition of nostalgia and tell you that it falls right into it. It's a sentimental longing for wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. So yeah, it fits directly into the nostalgia factor.
There you go. Yeah. No, but for real though, if you guys ever come down to visit, I am taking you guys there like immediately. As soon as you guys get in, settled in and shit, we're going to Lockhart because it's that good barbecue. And soon, so you never had brisket, right? Is what
Never
you said.
had brisket, as far as I'm aware.
It's giving you the best to start with is probably the best thing in the world.
The
You're gonna love
absolute
it.
worst result. Any other time I have it, I'm just gonna be so disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be very upset, and it's gonna be like, oh man, this is nothing like this and that. But yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. Brisket. Yeah, I think I've had brisket before. Boar's head specifically.
So I wouldn't count boar's head.
You don't?
Like, well, the reason why I say that is because the brisket I'm talking about is cooked there and then, like it's fresh. It's not just cooked and then refrigerated, resealed, and repackaged and distributed.
That's
Um,
fair, but that doesn't mean it's not brisket.
It's not real brisket.
This is the nostalgia
Listen,
talking points.
This
No,
is
I've
a
heard these
brisket
talking points all the
supremacy
time.
situation.
It's a brisket supremacy. We are the order of the brisket.
If
Listen,
you're not
if your
having
food-
brisket our way, fresh off the cow, like 20
Okay.
minutes after it's
It-
been sliced off, it is not real brisket.
It's like Wendy's fresh, never frozen beef. Those aren't real burgers. If you don't butcher the cow then and there, grind
It's not
that
fresh.
meat up, and create a burger with egg, Worcestershire sauce, and onion soup powder, you ain't making a real burger, baby.
I have to agree with
True.
Zoom here. I have to agree
True.
with Zoom here, yeah.
Zoom speaks
no.
truth.
Rabbit, if you come to Texas and you straight up go and say, man, go to a Boar's Head and say, this is the best brisket I've ever had out loud in like an HEB or something,
Huh?
people will like give you like dirty looks and then will come up to you and say, are you okay?
This is the worst brisket I've ever had.
Hold on. I am not saying that this is the best brisket I've ever had. I was just saying that I've had brisket before, so I kind of have an idea towards
Wait.
what it
Okay.
kind of texture and stuff is. I'm not saying it was good. I prefer chicken. Okay.
Well, so
Do you
here's
think
the
people
thing.
would
Like,
crucify me for saying that? Worst brisket I've ever had when I've never had brisket before?
that'd be really funny. I would love to. No, I'm not,
No.
not even joking. I would love to see that because they probably would jump you and kick you out. And I would be like, I don't know that guy. Nope.
Some.
Don't know him.
It would be a truthful statement too, because it'd be both the best and the
Yes.
worst you've ever had. because it'd be the
Exactly my
first.
point. It would be the first, so it is both the worst and best. Exactly, Rabbit. You get it. You get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I get it.
If we get there, I'm going to say, I don't know either of you.
I'm going to say you're paying for my bill. Like,
No, I'll pay for it. I'll cover it, but I am not going to say, like, I know those guys.
I
I don't know
There's
that
some
guy,
random
but I
dudes that I
am going to
picked up.
pay for his food.
Yeah. I'm paying it
Well, that,
because I'm a
that
kind
just makes
person.
him look like a good guy overall.
Yeah, exactly.
Or an asshole, depending on how people read into it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if people just deem us as actual friends of him, and he just does so not want to associate with us.
Yeah, exactly. Worst kind of human, you know?
But no, like I said, like Texas takes a lot of pride in their own barbecue, and you won't be disappointed. Like I promise it, you guys would enjoy it. Whether it's not the brisket, it could be something else that they have there. But yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Sounds delicious, and brisket nostalgia is great, but I want to know what Sum's nostalgia is now. It's your turn.
Yeah, Soom, now it's your turn.
Okay, that's fine. I actually can bring up something that was really prevalent in the world, in the gaming world recently, and in fact is still relatively relevant. Baldur's Gate 3.
Really?
And I mean this, yes,
All right.
actually, entirely and wholeheartedly, Baldur's Gate 3 brought back such a sense of nostalgia. Not because it's the same vein of game as Baldur's Gate 1 or 2,
Mhm.
but because it is the same IP. I grew up playing Baldur's Gate 1 with my dad, with my brother. I would sit for hours watching either of them sit on the computer, just moving them little party members around, not understanding a lick of what was happening. And I would just sit there and enjoy it. And I mean, eventually I came to play it myself. I loved the games. They were wonderful. They were actually really amazing. And I want to go back and play them again because I keep doing that. Like, I keep going back and playing, never quite beating them. Actually, I did beat them last time I played them, but irrelevant. Amazing games. And not only did their remasters via Blue Dog? Some company, I forget who remastered them, don't at me. They remastered them. Instantly, I was sold on them. I've rebought them. I didn't care. They added a new expansion, even more exciting. And then Baldur's Gate came. Baldur's Gate 3 was announced. I waited horribly long for them to give us a day for that game to come out. They gave us a date.
I have a question before I continue. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, was that what it was called?
Dark Alliance was the console game. It is not... Baldur's Gate 1 was just Baldur's Gate. Then there was Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Amn, and Baldur's Gate 2, Throne of Baal. Both PC games. Baldur's Gate 2, Throne of Baal was the expansion to Shadows of Amn. And then there was Dark Alliance 1 and 2, which are console games, which are different, but obviously same setting of Sword Coast. Also very fun games. I actually never played Dark Alliance 2, to be fair.
So I have a question. Are all the games canon to each other? Like they're not continuations, but they're in the same aesthetic world.
They are in the same universe. Think about Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's that whole shebang, and it's all happening at once, essentially. It's the Sword Coast.
Dragons.
It's all the Sword Coast. The Sword Coast is a
Gotcha.
location which encompasses Baldur's Gate and a few other cities that aren't really mentioned as much, like Nashkill and Amn, like I mentioned. Though I think Amn is part of Baldur's Gate, technically. I don't quite remember. It's been a while since I played it. But
hold on, is the Sword Coast Dungeons and Dragons or the spin-off Paizo? Or did Paizo just take the Sword Coast?
Sword Coast... I mean, Sword Coast is Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay,
pretty
sure.
Pathfinder is basically just Dungeons and Dragons, but but with slightly different, like very slightly different rule sets.
Yeah, I personally have played Pathfinder before, but yeah, Baldur's Gate it had its own actually initial expansion. I did forget about it, called Tales of the Sword Coast, which gave a few new areas. And then there was the new expansion with the remaster that came out, which was Dragonspear, which was kind of cool because it gave a connection from Game 1 to Game 2 that was proper and good. And when I say good, I mean it actually made the direct connection between the ending of 1 and the beginning of 2. Because there was a whole sequence there. And then 3 is, while it is the same canonic universe, and actually has recurring characters such as Jaheira and Minsk.
Oh yeah, I remember meeting them in Baldur's Gate 3.
Those two characters, I don't know how far into Baldur's Gate 3 you are, to be fair.
I'm in a submarine on Act 3.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, no, those two characters, if you have met them yet, I don't know about Minsk, to be fair, because I haven't been keeping up with you.
No, but...
he is in Act 3, to be fair.
With his trusty companion, Boo, or something like that.
We love Boo. Boo was something you couldn't unequip from Minsk in Baldur's Gate 1, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, I love Boo as well. I mean, I think they had a cameo in Monsters Incorporated, if I remember correctly.
Maybe.
Boo, like the little girl?
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, anyway.
Interesting.
Where I was going with all of this, Baldur's Gate 3 sold me instantly on nostalgia because it reminded me of the best of times, that like how much I enjoyed these things with my brother, my dad, and everything. There's actually a terribly embarrassing story regarding that game. And me being a stupid child who didn't want to stop watching my family play it. But that game sold instantly for me. Like, I waited and waited for their announce date. It was actually originally going to come out on my birthday at one point in early access.
Oh, what?
The early access version was going to come out on my birthday. And then I had to wait another month or 2, I think, actually. I think it ended up coming into early access either in September and October of that year. But I had to wait, and instantly, I picked it up immediately for that.
Look at the video.
What video?
Rabbit.
Yeah, look at my webcam. I am holding up
face reveal.
You're holding up Dark Alliance? Sick. I love Dark Alliance. Dark Alliance actually got released on PC recently as well.
Really?
Yes, and I used to play Dark Alliance on my GameCube of all things.
Rabbit, keep it up there. I'm going to take a screenshot.
But I'm sorry. There's a reason this game sold me immediately on nostalgia. Like, I love this game, and I've been ranting for quite a while.
I wanted to see Rabbit's face.
You've seen it before.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to see it again.
Okay, fine.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Really?
Yeah, there
Nice.
it is.
There
Nice.
we go.
Babito. Anyway, but yeah, no, the game sold immediately to me on nostalgia alone, and I am so
Awesome.
happy with it. I played Act 1 in the early access stage because that's the only act he really had. I think twice.
So
And then
were
I
those
just
the
waited.
only? Sorry,
What?
go ahead.
No.
I was gonna say, are those the only characters that reappear in Baldur's Gate 3 from the older games?
There is mention of a few more, but I believe it is just Minsk and Jahir that are recurring actual characters.
Okay.
There's a
That
note
kinda
in
bummer.
Act 1 that references an evil wizard, but that's about it.
I think part of it's mostly because a huge amount of time has been skipped. So
Yeah, and
a lot
they're-
of shorter life species people will end up passing away. And I
Yeah.
think Minx has some weird shenanigans with him that
Minsk-
caused him to jump forward in time or something like that.
Minsk, whether or not he jumped forward in time, isn't human. He is, by standards, human, but he is a weird subtype, essentially.
Subtype.
And by that, I mean he's essentially enchanted via stupid bullshit to have a longer lifespan to match the person he is supposed to be protecting, which is not available, obviously, in 3 because she's dead. Much like Jahira's husband is dead. Life partner. It's beautiful. And by beautiful, I mean it's horrible. They both lost somebody very important to them, but it's never really made clear if Minsk's relationship with his guardee, I don't know what to call them, the person he's protecting is romantic in nature, or if it is purely his protective will that makes them as close as they are. And then Jahira's, it's kind of fucked up because beginning of 2, hilariously, you find him dissected on a table, and she has a mental breakdown. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
but it actually leads her on a whole extra story, but that's another thing. But yeah, no, it's actually really cool. I was so excited to hear that any characters returned, and even the Ballspawn thing and the Dark Urge. Spoilers, by the way. Dark Urge being Ballspawn and all that. That I was so happy to hear that was brought back because the second game was focused entirely upon the protagonist being a Ballspawn.
Awesome. Okay.
I mean, that's actually why the second game was Throne of Ball, is because you are a Ballspawn attempting to claim the throne. And that is the other recurring character. I can't think of his name. Iron Throne by the Blood Altar for Ball.
Baldur's Gate Iron Throne.
Iron Throne.
I literally thought of.
Yeah,
I was thinking of Game of Thrones for some reason. The Iron Throne.
Baldur's Gate.
Gortash?
The Starks.
Not Gortash.
What?
The guy who.
Gale. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm trying to think of the guy who's at the Throne of Ball who tries to go through the gets you through the baptism.
Quick question, Soom.
What?
Chronologically, when does Baldur's Gate 3 take place compared to the other games?
Afterwards. I don't know exact time frame, but as Rabbit said, a lot of time has passed. Jahira is old and she is of elvish descent. Okay. Like it's been a while.
Elves live long.
Which actually, Jahira is your first access to a resurrection spell in Baldur's Gate 1, if you take her into your party anyway.
Cool.
She has a spell called Harper's Call, which is, the whole secret faction of the Harpers trying to protect the world and all that, which you're effectively doing work for in the whole Gortash and saving Baldur's Gate itself thing, but you don't really interact with them too much. But Harper's Call is a spell that it's revivification now at this point. Brings you back with 1 HP and whatnot. I'm sorry, very fun games. I loved them so much. I'm sorry, I've been ranting for a little while.
No,
You're
that's
good.
fine.
I'm trying to figure out this character's name, though. Antagonist.
Nostalgia is the name of the game right now. We want to talk about old experiences that you long to, that basically influence you to,
I think,
get something.
While Soom, Soom
Sarevok.
looks for that.
Sarevok. It's Sarevok.
There we go.
It's Sarevok, the guy who gives you the amulet of Ball that you need to get to the final crab lady, who I know she's not wearing crab carapace, but it looks like it, and that's all I can think of. It's flesh. It's other people's flesh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're talking about in Baldur's Gate 3, that lady?
Yeah.
Ugh.
The third of the leaders.
Yeah, the one that you basically get a choice of which one do you destroy second.
Yeah. Gortash or her?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, to get to her, you have to go through Sarevok, who is the antagonist of the first game. And I think related in the second, but I don't really remember much of the second, because I didn't play too much of it. I think he's related in the Throne of Ball rather than Shadows of Om, though.
Oh, okay.
Because Shadows of Om focuses initially upon you saving your childhood friend who followed you through the first game. Hey, it's me, Imoen.
Hiya, Imoen.
I hated that voice line so goddamn much.
Emmeline.
She says it anytime you fucking click her. Anyway.
Well, she just doesn't want you to forget her name, obviously.
Obviously.
Hey, it's me, Imoen. Anyway, I genuinely love those games. That first game sold me immediately. And there's actually another series that did the same thing. It was the 10th one in the series, and I grew up playing the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And the 10th one dropped, and I was like, I'm buying that immediately. That one did drop on my birthday. So it was really weird to me that 2 RPGs I loved were both slated to release on my birthday.
Nice.
Nice. Well, happy birthday to you then. So.
Exactly.
Another year older, another nostalgia waiting to come back.
Yeah, no, and it is very rare things that will actually do that. And then if you look at unrelated things, there are book genres that I have come to realize I love because they remind me of my childhood reading Magic fucking Treehouse books.
Oh God, Magic School Bus.
Because not School Bus,
Magic
Treehouse.
School Bus.
Oh, Treehouse. Magic Treehouse is essentially isekai stuff. It is 2 children go into their imaginary world in a treehouse, and a lot of times it's like pirates, pyramids, like it's just various fantastical history things, or like futuristic, like adventures. And it's them just playing with their imaginations, having fun with their siblings, trying to get out of various situations that they've made up in their own head. Though I guess technically it's not made up in their head, it's they are actually transported there, but you know.
That sounds cool.
And that's, I've come to realize why I adore, like, the isekai genre, is because I grew up reading many things that were Western isekai stuff. Like Magic Kingdom for Sale sold. That was a phenomenal series.
I hear you some, and I'm with you. Do you guys remember a movie called Page Master?
I actually just recently watched that. I loved that.
Oh, I love that movie.
Same. I had it on VHS, and for any young audience member that or listener that might be hearing this, VHS is an old form of just streamed video.
I think we just aged ourselves, Rabbit. God damn it.
Well, that's what nostalgia does, my dude. Nostalgia really ages you because you look back at something very fondly because it impacted your life very happily. But Page Master was one of the best movies from my remembrance, and if I watch it again, I might still like it, but there's probably going to be things that I'm going to nitpick about it. Obviously.
It honestly still holds up pretty damn well. Like
Yeah,
I just
it really
watched
does.
it a few months ago. Like
but
it was great.
But it is an isekai.
Yes.
Person basically getting sucked into these stories, even if it was just all a dream. But was it? We don't know. It kind of lets it up to your imagination, and I like that.
I mean, when you read a book, aren't you just transported to another world in your head? Like, are you not being isekai'd as you read?
I think Page Master was a great way to give you a visual of how to imagine reading a book is like.
Page Master was beautiful for that reason, if nothing else.
So you remind me of the Blue Book.
The Blue Book. Which one's the Blue Book?
The depressed one.
Yeah, sorry. I can only
Jekyll
think
and
of
Hyde, the monster one.
Was it the dumb one?
Well,
I forgot which
yeah,
one it was.
Believe
was
so, because there was
split.
3 of them. You had Fairy Tale, you had
The pirate,
and then you
Pirate.
had
and the depressing.
the horror story.
yeah.
That the blue one, then that's Zoom. Yeah, that's Zoom.
Soon
Robbie,
as
you're
the
the pirate.
horror story.
I thought blue was the pirate. I thought green was the horror story.
No, pirate's brown with the red.
Yeah, he's kind of
Little
like
bandana.
a yellow tint, kind of like old leather book, kind of.
Yeah,
All right.
Where
Now-
the
now
Fairy Tale, I believe, was pink.
Yeah, she
Okay,
was
I'm
pink
looking this
purple.
up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Page.
This is what I'm doing
Master.
too.
Wasn't
Huh?
wasn't the guy who played Marty, the librarian in that
All right,
movie?
blue was okay. Yeah. Your colors are right. A kind of lavender for the fairy godmother, a blue for Jekyll and Hyde,
Like
and then a
a
brownish
brown-
tan for the pirate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All reason I know that is because I was thinking about that movie earlier this week, and I actually looked up the trailer for it. And I was like,
Talk
This-
about
because I used to watch that all the time when I was a kid. it was crazy.
Yeah.
But I will say though, the graphic effects for the time, even though it was limited, it was actually still pretty good. Like, because when they transitioned from real world to the animated world, I thought that was really interesting to use like
It was a
this
really good
goo
transition.
or like this melting of the real world and blending into the stories. That was really, really cool.
It was really,
Yeah.
really well handled, especially with the limitations at the time. Complete side
Mhm.
note. Talking about the Page Master always reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob where he can go into other people's dreams, and he goes into Gary's dreams specifically, and it's just him
Oh,
in
yeah.
this big old cloak. And I can't
Yeah,
remember what he
library.
says, but for some reason that scene is something I always makes me think of the Page Master. Not the other way around.
I can see that.
I
I can
Yeah,
see
I
that.
can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, it makes a lot of sense because Gary's like Marty from the Page Master, and the library is his, which is like Marty.
Yeah.
And it's like, and SpongeBob, I guess, could be Macaulay Culkin's character, like the kid. You know,
Marty
he's wandering in
is-
this-
You're talking about Christopher Lloyd?
sorry, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, I keep forgetting the actor's name.
Yeah, I also think the name you're looking for is Doc Brown,
Yeah, Doc Brown, whatever.
because Marty, Marty was the young kid who was Jamie
okay.
Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
Okay, Back to the Future. I need to look this up.
Are you talking about Morty and Rick Sanchez?
No,
Not Morty.
Marty.
Professor. Yeah.
Doc, yeah, it was Doc Martin and Marty.
Doc Brown. and-
Doc Brown. I don't know why I thought it was Martin.
Now you got Marty McFly and Dr. Emmett Brown. That was the
Dr.
two
Brown, yeah.
headline guys.
Yeah.
Then you had
Back to the
Biff
Future.
Tannen.
Biff Tannen, why don't we make like a tree and get out of here?
No, it's Michael J. Fox, Rabbit.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox played Marty McFly.
Yeah. You said
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I didn't remember the actor's name.
We're
Yeah.
we're great at this. It's fine. Names don't
Oh,
Nah,
matter.
it's okay though.
Nostalgia, I remember for the most part characters, but I almost never kept up with who played the characters because I didn't care.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
oddly enough, I still don't care. But the fact that a lot of marketing and stuff is hinged upon who is playing it and not so much that the story is this, which frustrates me.
I still
Well, I mean,
don't
like-
care really who it is, so long as it's not Seth goddamn Rogen.
We're
And I want to be very clear here. I just hate his works, not him.
bringing that back, huh?
Yes, we are. I do not hate Seth Rogen himself. I hate the works he does. That is all I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm doing. These aren't his laughs. Yours
No,
was
no.
pretty spot on, though, George.
Yeah, George was pretty close. Yeah.
It's because what's it called? That Mario movie really ruined it for me because my ex-wife loved the movie, so I bought it. We would watch it all the time, and when it got into on demand, then we went to go visit her sister, and her sister has 2 kids. I think one's at the time was like 4. The other one is 2 years old. So they loved Mario, so it would be playing nonstop in the background, and then we couldn't change it because if we did, the kids would start crying. But so it was playing the entire time I was visiting there, and their favorite part of all fucking parts was Donkey Kong, and it was the scene whenever Donkey Kong and Mario are fighting, and you hear Donkey Kong go, Stupid ass. So that shit has been ingrained in my head, just God.
See, to be fair, the scene is fine if you ignore Seth Rogen.
No, it's great. I have nothing unlike you. I don't have anything against Seth Rogen. I think he's a great writer. I think he's funny. But just hearing his freaking laugh every so often, just kind of gets to you after a moment, after a while.
I think he's a lazy goddamn hack.
Wow.
Soom
really going for the throat on Rogan.
Yeah, hey, Seth, if you ever managed, if you somehow watch this, please know that Soom does not speak for the rest of us. Making that very clear.
Seth, if you ever watch this, please understand, if you pay me $100,000, I'll stop bad-mouthing you.
Pay me for my silence, please. I won't talk
I could
good
easily
about
bot.
you.
Hush,
No.
no. Hush money me and don't file it correctly so we can get you on 30. I'm sorry, I'll stop there.
Oh my god. God damn.
Oh god. I just imagine some being like, man, Seth Rogen really sucks. Seth Rogen comes in, gives him $100,000. I love Seth Rogen. Like I've always been saying, Seth Rogen movies are the best.
I think you misunderstand. $100,000 buys my silence on Seth Rogen. It's $1 million to get me to compliment the man.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna see just like out of nowhere, just Soom's gonna change his opinion on Seth Rogen one day, and it's like, oh, you know why?
Some gets $100,000 and it's just like, so what are your thoughts on Seth Rogen? He who must not be named is
I'm legally unable to speak on this matter.
I am not able. Yes. I've made an NDA contract. I am no longer allowed to say that man's name.
Oh my.
I am legally obligated.
Anyway.
All right, you done hating on Seth Rogen now, Soom?
Okay. Only for now.
But one other thing I wanted to bring up about nostalgia, though, back on nostalgia.
Yeah.
I guess a game kind of like with Soom to Baldur's Gate 3 to me is probably any medieval game that I play now, because it reminds me of when I first played RuneScape. And when I was a kid, that's what I mean. I played RuneScape a lot, but I loved the mystery behind it. I loved exploring. I loved the medieval era type of games, so it really vibed with me very well. And I just love the aspects of grinding, of leveling up, getting new weapons, getting new armor, killing cool monsters, exploration quests, all that good stuff. And whenever I play, I guess a good example is Witcher 3, right? When I first got into that game, it reinvigorated that idea or that mindset of exploration and excitement, and it rekindled that sense of wonder that RuneScape brought me. So I think, yeah, RuneScape's one of those games that will I'll always be playing. It's true what they say, right? For RuneScape players, RuneScape players out there watching, you never really quit. You just take long ass breaks. you always come back to it somehow. But yeah, I guess that would be for me nostalgia too.
Well, if you really like a game, I mean, okay. I'm going to have my statement for guilty pleasure nostalgia here. Pokemon. I played Pokemon since it first came out in the United States with Red and Blue on my friend's Game Boy, because I didn't have a Game Boy. I didn't get a portable handheld until Game Boy Color, and that was when I could play the red version, which I got, and I had so much fun with it. I play back the red version now. It's all right. It's not that amazing, but I remember when I was a kid, I loved that game. And then when Gold, Crystal, and Silver came out, I got the Silver version and the Crystal version, and the expansion of the world was just amazing. Then Gen 3 came out, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and I remember feeling a little disappointed because they didn't add more. Like, we couldn't go back to Johto and Kanto. It was just the one region. But
Hoenn, right? Is what it's called?
Yeah, it was just Hoenn. But it was still fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've just been playing the games ever since. And I could tell you which one is probably the worst one for me. And it's very simple, just because I never completed the game, and that was Sword and Shield.
Hmm.
Interesting.
I love the direction that they've gone with Arceus because people have been wanting that type of interaction with Pokemon since Red and Blue. It's like, imagine if you could have this on the Nintendo 64 where you got a 3D world with Pokemon. And that's where Pokemon Stadium came into play, but there was just something missing, and there was a lot of imagination to fill in the blanks, but that sense of wonder was fun. But now that they have the capability of actually making a fun kind of journey adventure, I mean, I want to play a the Cobblemon mod from Minecraft, which kind of also expands it, but it feels like it's more than just routes and cities, you know? Where you're literally going across the land with all these Pokemon. But it sells me on the nostalgia of how I enjoyed Pokemon, you know? Is there any, I mean, you got Baldur's Gate, you got you got Baldur's Gate, and you got Brisket, right? George, is
Yep.
that what we said?
Oh,
Yeah.
brisket.
Brisket.
Brisket. Is there anything that's more IP driven that would get you to purchase it just based
Power
on
Rangers.
nostalgia? Power Rangers?
First Power Rangers, though. I'm being very clear. Mighty Morphin and everything else, trash.
So you're gonna get that new Power Rangers beat 'em up game then when it comes out.
No, absolutely not. That one looks like
But
shit.
it is the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but at the same time, it isn't. Like, to me, I like the original Power Rangers and I liked all the OG games, but if it's not made during its time, like at the 90s, then I don't really want touching it. Because at this point,
not
it's
gonna
just,
make you buy it.
well, no, it won't. Just because, well, it won't, but it's because, again, it's not like made from that time. Like if something comes up, like, hey, there was a game they were working on back in the 90s, or releasing it now, then yeah, I would get it.
Beam Dog. Sorry.
Beam Dog.
That's the company who remastered Baldur's Gate.
Oh, nice.
It finally came back to my head.
Beam Dog.
Beam
But no,
Dog.
yeah.
So,
I saw the gameplay of the game you're talking about, Rabbit, but I don't know. It's just,
So
I
then
probably won't get it.
There's no game that hits you, or IP, not even game, but movie or anything like that would get you to release your money that's made today that is preying on nostalgia for you.
Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy, and the Crash Bandicoot remakes, maybe buy those. Those were good games.
Okay.
Because they were faithful. Well, the reason is, I mean, I wouldn't. Would you call those like newer games? Because it was really just a graphical improvement of the originals. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger beat 'em up game that's coming out is in the style of what was in the arcades in the 90s and such. But
Yeah, but it's not the same game though. That's the thing. It's its own. It's the same type of game, but it's not a remake of the originals from like the Sega Genesis or the Nintendo.
Okay.
Spyro and Crash Bandicoot were quite literally 1-for-1 remake.
So
like
if they made
like 1-for-1,
if they made a new Spyro game, you would not buy it.
probably not, because everything after Spyro 3 was dog shit. And I think that's why they haven't made a fourth one. They made a fourth Crash Bandicoot, and it was really bad. Of the new series, what was it? Crash Bandicoot or whatever, and it didn't really do that well, so they stopped making them.
I remember.
I forgot what it was called.
I do too.
But it was really bad, and yeah, there's a reason why Crash fell off after Warped, which is the third original game, because everything after that was just not good, and they learned from that. So yeah. But no, if they made a Spyro 4, which I read somewhere that they are gonna make one. Toys for Bob announced that they are gonna make a Spyro 4. I'm not excited just because they were also the ones who made the Crash one. So it's like, I'm not. I won't like. I'll take a look, and if it's decent, I might get it. But history has shown that those games are just not good.
All right. Well, uh, so if a new thing from a beloved IP that comes out, you are not going to purchase it.
Yes. For
All
Spyro,
right.
yeah, probably not. Or
Well,
Crash.
I don't mean just for Spyro. I mean any, like, if a new Five Nights at Freddy's game comes out, is that
Absolutely fucking not.
okay? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of other game series or movie series that you might have had a fondness for, and if they come out with more to it, not just like a remaster or a remake, would you get it, kind of thing?
Well, that's really hard to say though, because like
'Cause-
for anything, right?
Well,
Like
like,
any
like-
IP.
well, you
Sorry,
got
go
Baldur's
for it.
Gate with some, and you
I was
got
gonna say,
Pokemon
you've
with
got
me.
my answer.
Yeah, and I got Pokemon. You have nothing like that.
Well,
That
any
you would
medieval
just
game, really.
blindly just go, this is the thing I used to love. I'm buying this, good or bad.
I'm trying to think if there is one. I don't think there is, just because a lot of the games I used to play are managed by really crappy people now. Because if Metal Gear Solid was still owned by Kojima, I would tell you that one, but it's
That's
not
fair.
anymore, so I can't. Like any new game that Konami makes, I would absolutely not fucking play.
Would you
That's
play
fair.
Except
any
for the
game
new-
that Kojima makes?
Absolutely, I played Death Stranding. I'll play Death Stranding 2 because I
There we
love
go.
Kojima.
We found it. We
Yeah,
found
there you
your
go.
nostalgia hit. Any game
But it's not
Kojima
an IP.
makes.
That's an
Well,
individual though.
You're right, that is not an IP, but it is his creations, which is still a nostalgia hit.
nostalgia.
That's
selling,
a
yes.
that's a difference in words, but it is the same general idea, sadly.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we include, then yeah, if that counts, then yeah, Kojima, absolutely. Any game he makes, I will definitely fucking play, because I like those deep, thought-provoking games. Like Death Stranding, a lot of people call it the Amazon delivery simulator, which I'm not going to argue. It kind of was. It basically was that. But the story was actually really, really good, and it touches
Norman
a lot of...
Reedus and the Funky Fetus.
Yeah, exactly. It touches on a lot of topics and themes that games just don't want to talk about. Like
I've never
abortion
played it.
is one of the primary topics of the game. Another topic is nihility and the world, in the modern world, and also, I mean, dystopian's been talked about in other mediums and idioms and all that stuff, but this world where everything has to be lived in their own secluded little secret bases to avoid the main quote unquote species that has come to take over this planet. It really dives into the whole idea that even though we're separated, we are still connected. So we are all the same species, and other topics too that are really, really thought provoking. But you know, I just feel bad because the game Death Stranding should have gotten a lot more respect than it did, or a lot more recognition. But just people, you know, a lot of people just don't have the attention span for it, which I don't blame them, just because a lot of modern games are like that. But I think, yeah, if it's anything Kojima makes, I would most likely just say, yep, Kojima made it. Give me
Alright.
the freaking thing. I'll buy it.
Well, I look forward to seeing you play that new Kojima experience that's going to mix cinematic worlds with horror games in the future. But I'm going to have to call it here. I'm banging the hammer. It's time.
Oh shit, it's been an hour.
Yeah, it's been
The
an
heck?
hour.
Yeah.
And I
Nice.
got to tally the votes. All right. So we got, for some, the points that I have here, we got growing 13 feet tall.
Oh boy, soon.
I'm a long bunny.
He kept score soon. What the fuck?
Yeah, you did last time too.
Yeah, I did last time. Yeah. Making the nut joke, so that's 2.
Nut.
Is vegetables. Some is vegetables.
I am vegetables, according to George.
He
According
is
to
a
George.
Brussels sprout. Yes.
Standing on lawn. on George's lawn.
I'm gonna get shot.
It's like my dream come true.
Speaking burger truth.
What? Oh, yeah.
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 What?
Best
These
and
burgers
worst
ain't real burgers.
brisket.
Yep.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Mhm.
Baldur's Gate like 1 and 2 nostalgia from computer. Imogen voice line distaste.
Hey, it's me, Emmeline.
And no Seth Rogen. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. All right. So George has coconut husking, busted a nut.
Can I say one thing on
Damn straight.
coconuts?
Uh-huh.
Like, you can't buy coconuts here. They aren't just in the store.
Oh, really?
True.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
you,
wow.
you can't just easily buy coconuts here in Florida. You just got to go outside. That's all.
Lucky you. But yeah, anyway, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
George got the segue point. He
Nice.
got accepting the past. I don't know what that ultimately entailed, but George accepted his past.
Yep.
Oh, no, that was the, instead of being like the back in my day, you kids have it too easy.
Oh,
Instead, yeah. I remember it now. I remember.
Yeah.
Becoming a boomer and yelling at kids.
Yep.
Brisket nostalgia.
Brisket.
Damn straight.
Taken to Lockhart. That's the restaurant, right?
I think
No,
that's
so
still a town.
Lockhart's a town, but there's like 3 different barbecue joints. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We spent like an hour talking about that one. That we were looking at Google Maps. It was fun.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
awesome.
Great Seth Rogen laugh.
It is terrifyingly on point.
I hate that.
Returning to nostalgia with medieval games, specifically RuneScape. That was 2 separate points.
RuneScape.
And then
RuneScape.
Kojima Death Stranding. So that's 1,
Yeah,
2,
buddy.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points. However, I have given George 2 minus points. One for not seeing fashion before with the
Totally.
fishnets,
That's
and then
mean.
backpedaling from veggies.
That's fair.
For some, yeah. So those were the 2 points. So that means at the end of the day, some wins.
I'm
Congratulations!
going to say this now, Rabbit. You have betrayed my trust. You have betrayed my trust, and I no longer like you. You are an asshole. You are the worst kind of person.
I have subverted both of your expectations. You both wanted some
No.
to lose.
Wait.
I wanted Sim to lose, but I knew he was gonna do some shit like this.
I expected it to, in all fairness, but
Yep.
Oh, I did it all fair. It was fair. By
It was
1
not.
point, some managed to win.
It
1
wasn't
point.
fair.
And the 2 points I minused were early on. It was only 2.
Oh,
But
really?
It did manage to get some to win. So, some winner's speech.
Winner's speech.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this here. I'm going to say this now. I'm only going to say this once. Hey, it's me, Imowen.
All right. That was the winner's speech. George, you got a loser's speech.
Zoom is a fucking Brussels sprout. That's my loser speech.
All
I hate
right.
Brussels sprouts.
Well,
He's
thank
never had a
you
good
guys.
Brussels sprout in his life.
Thank you all for joining. You can catch George 2D at George 2D with in YouTube. You can catch some on Twitch at Somebunny DS. Is that right?
Yes.
And you can catch me at Rabbit Hat Plays on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us, and see ya.
Adios, everybody.
Bye.